Welcome back to London Heathrow, Echo Golf Lima Lima, and welcome back to the Zibo 737. If you're not familiar with the Zibo 737, it's a modified laminar stock 737 and a very well done mod it is. Let's just get rid of the hood. It's a bit of a pain to stow away, but we've achieved that. It's an 8 AM start, and as you can see, we're having some particularly bad weather in the UK at the moment, so we are starting in poor weather. Now, I'm not going to be paying much attention to the wind direction for this flight. I'm going to be taking off from runway 09 and landing at runway 06 using real world weather. Normally I would accommodate the weather, I would use the appropriate runway, but for the purposes of this flight we're not going to do that. We're just going to keep it simple. So let's start off. Let's get the I'll try to use Trachear to do this, although that's not going to be simple. Let's, now that we have power applied,
We're wrapping up final work here to get your way sincerely. Thanks so much for your company and business. Way but you sit back, relax.
I don't really need the windscreen wipers on for the time being. The electric, everything's off for the hydraulic pumps. Landing gear lever is down. Let's turn ground power on. Oh, no, that's the correct direction. And all the lights look correct. APU, let's start the APU. I'm not going to go through the fire tests. There's a lot of stuff we're going to cover in this flight, including just doing a complete flight, but also looking at setting up the FMS. And we're going to be doing an auto landing, and I'll also take a look at the hold and how to manage the hold, how to get out of a hold. So about to turn the APU gen on in a second. There you go. So APU is now on. I'm going to have to use this mode. There's no way I'm going to be able to spot that or look up to the aft portion of the overhead panel. All the electronic engine control stuff is on, I know that. Let's just have a look. I'm not quite sure what that's all about. Got an alarm for something. What have I got an alarm for? We've got an alarm for something, I'm not quite sure what it is. Now let's press on. Leave these on. Not at all sure why we've got that. There you go. Let's just take these off for the time being. I'm not quite sure what we've got an alarm for. So let's just continue. Landing gear lights verified. Parking brake is set. No idea why we've got an alarm for. No pressure on. We've got the yeah, well, again, you're not quite sure what the alarm's on for, but we have an alarm anyway. Let's just do our best to ignore that. Actually, let's silence that for a minute. Let's just set the fuel. And let's just hope that alarm goes off at some point. Okay, let's why have we only got one CDU? I swear we turned on the ground power before. Oh, well, clearly it didn't clearly that didn't hit for some reason. There you go. Okay, let's go through the start for this. So we are Echo Golf Lima Lima. See, you learn something straight away. Is it 507? I believe it is. Let's take a look at the next page. And set the IRS position. Next one is a route. And we're going to Echo Hotel Alpha Mike. And we are 8497. Taking off from runway 09. Not in the database. Or is it 90? Yeah, it's 90. But that's not the database app. Well, let's just forget that for the time being. Obviously making mistakes somewhere. But let's we're going from 09 left. Yeah, that would be at 09 left. Okay, so that's sorted out. Let's look at the legs. Yeah. I just want to add another point. And let's go back to the arrival at Amsterdam Schiphol, ILS 06, then at 1 Alpha, and the river initial approach fix. So let's check this out on the first officer display. Okay, we've got a route discontinuity. We'll get rid of that. Okay, let's just review what we've got here. So 3,000, 4,000, 6,000. Just going to activate this. Execute. That looks okay. And just yeah, runway 9 Lima. Reserves are 1.2 and cost index for British Airways is 2.8, and we're going to flight level 240, execute that. Flaps 5, and that our V2 is 135. I think that's everything covered. So looking at more detailed information here, 3,000, 4,000, 250, going to 250 knots of the 6,000. It's not 250 knots, go up to 24,000 at Tony, 280, and then we start the descent, 10,000, and unless I'm very much mistaken, that looks good. Let's go back to page 1. So that is completely set up, looking for V2 of 135 knots. Let's have a look at this. Let's do some initial setup. 135. Now I need to get, I can figure out where I am, what I'm looking at. See if I can get, I think it's a sectional that I need. 29903. Which is pretty much there. Just got to remember how to set this. There you go, 29903. So that's that setup. Let's take that up to 8,000. In fact, let's take it to 6,000. Let's assume that we're cleared to 6,000 feet. So that is now all set up. Let's set LNAV. Should probably do that later, but I'll keep it simple. So there's the weather look in it still. At some point I'll figure out how to get the weather radar working on this. It never seems to work as I'd expect. Okay, pre-flight procedure, first officer. Flight control switches, guards closed, yep. So if I can do this. Yaw damper on, and the light extinguishes. Navigation panel, everything is set on that. Yeah, everything's set on that. Fuel pumps are off. Battery guard closed, cabin and IFE, those are both turned on. And emergency exit. Guard closed. Just take a while to set this up. Let's get the passenger signs on. Windshield wipers are parked. I'll turn those on as we start to taxi. Window heat on. I'm going to have to use a 2D view. Window heat is on. Probe heat is off. It is indeed off. Wing anti-ice is off. Engine anti-ice is off. Hydraulic panel set, engine fuel pump. So a minute, engine hydraulic pumps on. No, they are on. There you go. Off is up. Electric hydraulic pumps are off. Air conditioning, air temp source as required. Trim air on. And temperature as required. I never really seem to have to worry about that. But it's about 18. I'd like it to be about 23, but I'd have to figure out how to do that first. Which is always a good place to start. Recirculation fans or automatic. Air conditioning pipes or automatic. The bottom one's higher, so automatic. Isolation valve is open. Engine bleed air on. Engine bleed air is on. APU bleed air is on. We've got dual bleed light on. Flight notes indicator cruise, so set this to 24,000 feet. Pressurization mode is auto. Okay, when we're looking at landing lights, I want them in the off position. Runway turn off light is off. And up is the off position. Taxi light off. And engine start is automatic. Lighting panel. What are we going to do today? Let's get the logo on. Position. Steady. Anti-collision light off. Wing illuminating. Let's turn. I hate switching that because I never know when to turn that on, but I think you need to turn it on later. That's good to hear. We'll turn the wheel well light on. I'm not sure when you need to turn that on, but we'll see. Okay, we have the local altimeter set, 290903. What kind of range have we got on map mode? Let's take it to let's leave it at 40. Got it set to map. That's looking fine. We've got a caution for. There's no issues apart from low oil pressure. Meters as required. Barometric reference, we're fine on that. Mode is map. Sensor as required. Range, traffic. We got TCAS is off. I'm not quite sure how that works, but never mind. Might use weather at some point, but I can never get that to work. Quick check. Oh, there you go. Finally, I finally see some weather. I'm going to turn that off for now because we're on the ground. I'll leave that until later. Course set. Flight director on. Yeah, both flight directors on. Both required for toga. Bank angle is centered. Nozzle steering guard closed. I don't know how, if we can actually do that. Display panel set. Main panel display normal. Yep. We've got that set to normal. Main and lower DUs. Takeoff config light verify extinguished. Cabin altitude light. Yep. That is extinguished. You do not want to have that light illuminate. That is bad news. I'm hoping that the cabin altitude is going to pressurize correctly. I've had an issue with that before. I'm not sure whether that's a bug or me doing something wrong. Okay, it's moving through a few different things. It's verified ILS alignment is complete. It is complete. Flight recorder is off. I don't know if it's even possible to turn it on. So it does take a little while to start this aircraft. Flight instruments check, brake time verified, extinguished, yep. Landing gear panel set, landing gear lever is down. Auto brake set to RTO. Anti-skidding operative is extinguished. N1 set, auto. I forget where N1. There you go, N1 set to auto. It is indeed. Speed reference is auto. Yep, that's also set to auto. Fuel flow rate. Yep. I'm not going to go through all the tests for that. So looking good. Transponder set. This is an odd one to get down to. I've got to remember where it is. Okay, so it is on standby. Okay. Select map mode, that's fine. Speed brake lever down detent, yep. Reverse thrust levers are down. Forward thrust levers are closed, flap levers set. Grab a hold of this. Somehow managed to get it to the E5 position. Parking brake is set, engine start levers cut off. Yep. Pre-flight checklist. Okay, before start checklist. Okay, auto throttle is armed. IS max set V2, which is checked at 135. Arm LNAV as required, yep. Initial heading set. That's set for .90. Oh, I've actually hit that by mistake. Now I've got world traffic running, so there should be some aircraft around. What runway they're going to be using is anyone's guess. Probably not the one that we're using. Okay, taxi and takeoff briefings complete. Start clearance is obtained. If the center tank fuel quantity exceeds 1,000 pounds, yeah. Left and right fuel center pumps. Let's turn those on. Aft and forward fuel pumps on. Okay, all the lights are off. Electric hydraulic pumps on. Let's just use the So we're steadily getting there. Anti-collision light on. Can't remember where it is. Yeah, it's on steady, that'll do. Trim is set, I think it's 4.6, isn't it, on the... Yeah, 4.57, so... That's about it. That will do. Set trim for takeoff. Trim is in the green band. Aileron and rudder trim. Spot that. I can't remember where the indications are. Are they actually on the... yeah. I believe that's centered. Okay. Before start checklist. Okay, let's get the aircraft pushed back. Okay, we're going to be going to the right.
Round to cockpit. Van acknowledge. Call me through the menu when you're ready.
Start the pushback.
Round to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Well, of course we're at stand 507, it says it right there. Okay, so we're going to be starting the engine shortly. As soon as we have pushback started. So we are getting close to taking off.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Sounds good. Start getting some windscreen wipers. I'm not actually using the more advanced rain effects. I think this is stock. But the more advanced effects kill about 10 FPS, and I don't know. I'm not sure if it's worth it. In a way, the windscreen effects, I don't know, they seem a little bit better for some reason. I think the I think it's a Librain, if memory serves correctly. I think it looks maybe a little overdone.
Close connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Okay, parking brake is released.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Let's get these. Okay. Packs it off. Oh, of course, I forgot to disconnect the GPU. Engine start ground. We've got the should have the APU running, actually. We should have the APU running, actually. I'm not sure why we've lost. Okay, this is going to be the shortest flight ever, I think.
Unable to find UID.
Okay, now I'm pressing the wrong buttons. But why? I'm not getting that. Well, that's... Okay, that flight is now terminated, I think. Okay, that has me confused. I don't get that.
Unable to find view
Press the
ID.
wrong button again. Okay, now I'm lost. Well, how on earth?
Operation complete. Set parking brake. Disconnecting hose. Stand by.
This has been the shortest flight ever, as you can tell. Well, that has me completely confused because I've got the APU running. Well, that's bizarre. Okay, well, that... Okay, that is... Well, that has me totally confused.
Node is disconnected. The bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Okay. Well, that's... Yeah, that confused me a little bit. I swear that was strange. Must have... I swear I turned that on. When I did APU... I turned the APU gen on. That has me completely confused. Okay. That has me totally confused. Okay, confused. Oh, anyway, starter cut out. Yeah, I'm going to start the second. That has me a little bit confused, as you can probably tell. Well, sure I started the APU generator. That has me a little bit confused. Okay. That has me totally confused. Not sure why that didn't work. Okay, what am I doing now? Completely... I'm running on... I'm completely off the checklist now, so I haven't actually completed my own personal checklist beyond where we are. Oh, that's me totally confused. I'm kind of thrown by that. I'm not sure why I had that issue with the APU. I have to look back at the video and figure out what I got wrong there, because obviously I missed something. But I could have sworn I turned the APU gen on. I'm trying not to be confused. I think we've got everything set. And we're looking for runway 09. So yeah, I'm completely off checklist now, so I'm just going to be doing this from memory. Because that checklist is quite long. Anyway, let's get going. I think I've got everything covered. Probably famous last words, but yeah, that's thrown me a little bit. Just see if we can maintain something along a straight path, as I sit here incredibly confused at whatever it was that just happened. Okay, so we are heading towards runway 09. Just I can't remember actually, is that yeah, we just want that taxiway a second to the left. Pretty quiet. Just trying to maintain some decent frame rates on this. About 23, 22. Seems to be the only mover. So there's always something goes wrong with one of my videos. Hopefully the rest of it is going to go smoothly. Pretty grey. Should we have there you go. Always have issues with, or I have had issues with steering with this. I have a steering linked to rudder pedals, which is an important setup that you need to deal with when using the Zibo mod. You know, when I really got into this 10 years ago, this is the aircraft I really wanted to fly. I wanted to fly the Beach Baron. That was the first objective. Then I really wanted to fly the 737 and do it competently. I'm not sure if I've done this competently so far. I'll have to check that APU issue once this is done. But yeah, we now know that alarm is related to the electrical system, so if you hear that, you know something has gone badly wrong somewhere with the electrics. Yeah, dropping frames every now and then. Let's get this lined up. Stay on sensor line. The challenge now is going to be to remember back to checklists. Veering off a bit to the left there. And when I do have that checklist complete, I'll put it up on the probably the first video of the startup series. Keep veering to the left, holding quite a bit of right rudder to try to keep it straight. Okay, obviously we're going to be turning left, or turning right. We're not going to be turning left, that's for sure. Going to pick up a bit of speed. Have to be careful with that. come onto the runway. Let's taxi light off. Yeah. It's always a problem trying to set the overhead panel while also trying to stay on the correct line. I think we've got everything set now. We're ready to go. In fact, one thing I didn't do, which I should have done, that covers everything. One last thing that we need to do. And I think that's everything set. So let's start pushing power up to 40%. Toga. Stay on the centre line. Nose wheel steering off. A bit up to the left here.
E1 rotate.
And nose up. Gear up.
That's great.
And we're getting into the freezing again. And
1,000.
and into the clouds we go. Let's get the flaps up. I'm not really going to follow the procedure. There is a specific schedule to turn off flaps. I don't want to keep things simple for now. Wow, we are really coming into these clouds. Just check that out. Planning for 4,000. So yeah, that's a pretty nice view of the clouds there. That
1,000 to go.
That's when these stock clouds really look nice. We're just coming up the top of the clouds. Looks really impressive. Ah, looks really nice. Keep getting these slowdowns in FPS. Okay, looking for 250, I believe. So what altitude we're looking for? 6,000. Quite happy with that. So at this point, all that we're doing really is just monitoring airspeed and altitude, monitoring the flight plan, and dealing with these frame rate issues. Haven't seen any of our aircraft so far. Park these windscreen wipers. We're out of the rain. Let's double check the flaps. Flaps are up. I'm just monitoring everything. Set the logo light off. Still below 10,000 feet, so I'll leave the landing lights on. Let's just take a closer look. What's going on here? So we've got a big turn to the right coming up as we depart from the SID. Okay, so the clouds breaking up. You get to see a little bit of that Orbix scenery. It's a kind of decent height to see detail as we turn. That is definitely convincing detail. Let's just look at the flight plan. So let's take a look at 24,000 feet. Now we should start the climb. So yeah, you can assume that we're now cleared up to 24,000. Scratchy frame rates again. Pretty nice clouds. Coming to 10,000 feet. I wonder which one is which. Just press standard. That seems the easy way to go. The landing lights off. Certainly nice to see all those clouds below us rather than above. Let's go back to weather radar. Never really got this to, at least I've never seen this really working. You can see we've got some weather ahead of us, but it's not that bad. generally pretty reasonable. There's the odd gap in the clouds. It's passing 14,000. Approaching 24,000, we'll get there pretty soon. So everything looks reasonable. So pretty soon we'll be heading out over the North Sea. So we've got a little way to go for altitude, but we're almost there, to be honest. Climbs really quickly, 3,500 feet per minute. Time apparently now 8:53. We started about 8 AM, so it's taken us almost an hour to reach this point. So above 20,000 feet. Just a lot of clouds. Don't get to see too much on the ground. As I said before, I'm not really paying any attention to wind direction for takeoff and landing. You should obviously do that, but I want to keep it simple for this flight. I could have just gone with specific weather conditions, but I wanted to use real-time weather, so this is constantly updating. Okay, we're almost at 24,000. We've got a wind of, let's take a close look. Got a bit of a tailwind.
1,000 to go.
73 knots. I'm close to leveling off. Okay, now we switch back to the FMC. The coast, if I'm not mistaken. Should pop up there in those clouds. Check out where we are. Okay, we've got 107 miles to get to Denot. It's gonna all start to happen. In fact, let's just look at that just while we're there. Sierra Papa Lima, which is a hold, and we'll demonstrate that hold and how you fly the hold, how you exit it when we get there. It's very simple. There's not a great deal of complexity to it. Keep getting us slowdowns in frame rates. I was hoping 3J FPS would really prevent that, but it's not quite working as I'd hoped at the moment. there you go, there's the full flight plan. You see the hold right at the end of it there? Kind of racetrack pattern. That is what we're going to be looking at. Let me get a bit closer. So you can see we zoom in a little bit. At the top of descent, and then we get to deceleration. It should start to descend automatically. Now we've cleared it down to 10,600 and it will start to decelerate to HSD, Hotel Sierra Delta. We're only going out to 280 and then to 250, so it's not a huge deceleration, but we are approaching that point, so we get there pretty quick. There's some weird graphical artifacts. I've seen this before. I've seen this before when I did the same flight. It's kind of like a sandbank. It's a bit too angular to be a proper feature, I would imagine. The clouds, yeah, it's just the clouds. I thought that was a cloud reflection on the sea. In fact, is it a cloud reflection on the sea or just the clouds themselves? Hard to tell. We're holding about 29. Well, I was just going to say 29, then it went at 35, but it's frame rates are back down again. So this flight has been a bit of a target for me. I've wanted to do this flight for a while. It's something I've been planning. I just wish I'd chosen a better gate to start the aircraft in the tutorials. But I always think that it's good to have a target, something you want to achieve, and flying from Heathrow to Amsterdam Schiphol has been my objective, to well-known airports. And it's not a particularly long flight. I plan to do some longer flights with it, but the longer flights just take so long, and there's no real workable time acceleration. When I've used time acceleration, it doesn't really accelerate that much. I don't think I have a powerful enough machine to be able to handle that kind of 4 or 5 speed acceleration. Okay, now the scenery, hopefully this is not going to crash, because I don't know what that was.